Hey guys, welcome to another episode at Project Nine Oaks. We're going to get started on the insulation today. So I have two different types of insulation. I have foam board and bat insulation we're going to do. So the first step in that was I had to test all the utilities. So I've got the plumbing put in a while ago. I did that over several videos now. Got the drain and the pressure lines put in. So those were installed and tested and everything went well. No leaks, so that was pretty good. So the water portion of this works well. The next was the electrical. So I just recently hooked up all the electrical, had the AC put on, last week, and I got that little short cord attached to it now and connected up some more outlets. And what I ended up doing was buying the cord, connecting it to my generator with an adapter, and I was able to get it to turn on. So ran into a little bit of a snag in that the cord that I have, the 30 amp cord, doesn't like to fit into the plug that I bought that's going to go on the outside of the camper. So I have kind of a jerry rig thing I think I'm going to try out. So I don't have to buy another cord. It's a brand new cord and has never been used and it doesn't fit. So gonna try to see what I can do. I think relatively easy and I can get it to fit. But so anyway, I hooked that up and it worked well. All the outlets turned on, the AC turned on, blew cool air, so that was nice. So anyway, so now the electrical is done and the like I said, the plumbing is done. So the next step is now just get this insulated so we can put the walls in. So the way this camper is built, I think it came from the factory with all 2x2 framing. And however I bought this used, it's changed many hands actually over the years. And the guy that I bought it from had taken it down to the studs or down to the frame on the floor and reframed the front kind of from the bathroom forward. And he reframed it with 2x4s. And so we just left that in. We're not going to redo that or anything. So the 2x4s on the front and then 2x2s in the back. So we're going to use just regular bat insulation on the front that we have, and then I had to buy some foam board that's going to fit into the back part of the camper. Well, I went to many places and I couldn't find 1.5" foam board. I think they're just out actually. They couldn't. I could see the section where they were. They were never there. So I tried that over a couple of months actually, and no notice of when they'll be in. So I went ahead and just bought some 3/4 inch thick foam board and just going to double it up. I think that'll work. So I haven't done it before, but my plan is to start just measuring these, these rectangles that it needs to go in and start cutting the board with a knife. So we're going to start on that first. So we're going to do the bathroom and this kind of rear closet bedroom area we're going to have the boys' bunk beds in. So we're going to try that first and see how that goes. And then we're going to start on the regular bat insulation and get that done. So anyway, we're going to get that going, and I appreciate if you stick around, and we'll see what we can get on the see what we can figure out on this this part of the project. All right, so I got the first one in, and I have a couple of questions. So I want to show you. This is the rest of the board. I don't know if you can read it, but it says, to obtain the system R value, there must be a minimum of a 3/4 inch airspace between the foil facing and the exterior cladding. So I go over here. I've got it in. I had to take this like kind of weird notch out of it over here with the studs, and I need to get a sharper knife or something. I knew it was going to be a mess, but geez, it's kind of a mess. So if I push this in here, and I have it, some of it's actually going all the way in. You can see there's a little bit of a recess here. But if I'm able to just, it's sticking pretty stiff. I think I just might put one board in it. And maybe put some tape or something over the edges. Get some kind of nice tape that bridge this gap here, and would tape to both sides. This is like got a film over it, so it's not taping to styrofoam itself, but just to help keep it, I guess, from moving some. It's pretty stiff, and when I put a board over it, it's probably gonna do its job, but I might just tape some edges or something, I don't know. Anyway, this is what I'm gonna do, is likely to keep a gap, actually, pull this out and make a little air gap, and maybe that'll be sufficient. Alright guys, so now it is day 2 of putting in this insulation. I had to pack it in a little bit early last night. Got to get dark on me, and dinner was ready, so I had to go get some of that. So we're back on the camper now, and I'll take you here to the back, and you can see I was able to get a few more panels done kind of in the back bathroom here. Got these side panels, and I'm just taping it up. This is nice. They're nice and stiff, you know, they're not sliding around on me or anything. Cutting them pretty good. I have this panel to do, which is kind of an irregular shape. One thing I did, kind of wish I had thought through a little bit better, is down in here behind this fiberglass panel there's no insulation, and I didn't put anything when I built I built it from the outside, and I didn't put anything in there. So I'm kind of kicking myself now. What I'm going to do is likely stuff some bad insulation down there. I can't really get a panel in there too well. This corner is pretty secured against it, so I can't really pull this open anymore. So we'll get to doing that at some point as well. But again, back onto the back insulation, and we'll get this buttoned up here this afternoon, and that'll be it. So anyway, let's get going on it. Well, that one wasn't too good of a cut. It's pretty good total, but that's not too good. I'm let me stuff something in there, but all right. Yeah, I ended up measuring this point and that point, which is pretty simple, and then I just kind of estimated over. That was 3.5 inches. Well, it was really more like 3, I guess. So instead of that point being here, I had it out here, and then so measured from there to this one, and so that just kind of moved everything. So I should have went over a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this side, and then I'll probably get just some regular insulation to fill that in. All right, so it's down to pretty much this last little piece here. So this strip along the back wall, it's gonna join in with some existing insulation that I have over here. So it is all of 60 inches. 60 inches wide, and this height here, if I just measure the straight distance, it's 6.5. But I'm gonna put a little bend in it, so I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. Let's I'm just gonna kind of guess at 6 3/4. So I'm gonna end up doing, instead of it, you know, going straight like that is, it's gonna have a bend in the middle, and so that's gonna take some room up. So it's gonna look kind of like that. Here, yeah, that's 6 3/4. Maybe just a little bit bigger, 6 7/8. So that way, when we put the panel on that we're going to put for the bathroom, it's going to be this thin sheet of plastic, and it can kind of make that curve nice. So we want to be sure that the backer part of it, the insulation, is not pushing it out from behind and making it a straight run, and it will allow for that curve to happen. So I'm going to put a bend in it, and I think I got an idea, but we'll see. So anyway, so let's cut out a 6 7/8 inch by 60 inch long piece of insulation here. If it wants to. All right, let's go. All right. Something like that. I think that's got it. I'm going to use this flathead screwdriver to kind of pull the bottom out a little bit, and then I'll tape it to kind of hold it in place as I'm messing with other pieces. So anyway, all right, it looks like that worked for the most part. So this next piece of plastic that we'll put on will be able to cover this curve here. At least that's the theory. Okay, I got one more panel to put over here, and I'm running into some measurements that I need to take before I get started. So this wiring is for the DC light that's going to go underneath the bunk bed. So I have 2 bunks right here that's going to be in the main room, and it's going to come kind of into this closet space that used to be here. And then that top bunk, I'm actually going to make it to where it can flip up, and we can have the bottom bunk as more of a bench. So what needs to happen is I had to take a bunch of measurements, and luckily we have a bunk bed as our main house, in our main house. So I took some measurements, and basically we are going to make the bottom bunk just over the wheel well, which will be about, after all said and done, the top of the bunk will be at about 16 inches off the ground, and that gives you a nice, you know, it's kind of a little bit of a low seat, but again, trying to get the most out of the space between the bunk beds. So then the top bunk is the space between the bunks, 24 inches was what we currently have on the bunk bed we have in the house, and that's pretty good. It might be good if it was a little bit larger, but so if we went with 16 inches and then come up here, I think I'm going to make it 42 inches as to where the bottom of the top bunk is, and then I'm going to make a mark here, so 42. And then it's going to be 2x4 kind of size, so let's just round it up and make it 46 as the top. Then you have the cushion, which will be you know, squished down when we get on it. But let's say 46, another 24 inches above that is 50 plus 20, and then it'll be 70. And right now our camper is about 76 inches tall, so that gives you a nice about 24 inches. I probably will move it maybe up just a little bit. You know, 24 to 26 inches of clear space between the bunks, so you can lay down. And so what I needed to measure that real quick, so I would know where to put these wires out. Because I'm going to put the insulation panel back in here, and I got to cut a hole for these wires to stick out of. So they would stick out right at the right place to where they're kind of inside the bunk of the top bunk there. So. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode. We got the back paneling, the back insulation panels put on. We got them secured in with tape and measured out for the bunk bed to get the wires to come out in the right location. I'm just going to tape this one up. Pretty much that's going to be it, kind of coming into the end of the day. Had a lot going on today, so really just kind of rushed to get this one done. Next we'll be working on the insulation for the front part of the camper. I have a few other measurements to take for this bed before I want to kind of close it in. So at least that's my next, what I think my next steps are. But really getting the insulation in is another key component, kind of makes this to look a little bit more finished. So I'm going to end it here with this, the rear insulation kind of complete. Still got to stuff that insulation down behind the shower piece there, but you kind of get the idea of what this is all about. So I hope this helps you out and some of yours. Again, you know, haven't done this before, but you know, looks like it'll work, so it's better than nothing, I guess you could say. So I appreciate you sticking around for this video. See you guys on the next one.